Welcome to Creation in the 21st Century. I'm your host, Carl Ball, founder and director of the Creation Evidence Museum in Glen Rose, Texas. We have an admiration for the set on which we're taping the program, and we recognize that it required a brilliant creator, designer in the original Shushan Palace setup for Ahasuerus, and even the computer designer to make this replication possible. Yet, that is nothing compared to the awesome creator of you and your universe. The title to today's program is Our Awesome Creator. And here to lead us through this consideration of the awesome statistics is Professor John Heffner. Professor Heffner, it is always a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here again.
Well, I think probably you've been with us more times than any other guest, and that says not only do I like you and we like you, the audience likes you.
Well, I hope so.
Yes. Well, you have a stellar career, almost 4 decades as a career mathematician. You're head of the math department at Kilgore High School. Of course, you know these things. And you're also adjunct professor at Kilgore College. And you've lectured at various venues around the world, literally, or at least on foreign soil and throughout the United States. And you, in the past, have thought atheistic and evolutionary thoughts. But you have conviction about a creator. Tell me about it.
Well, I learned the error of my ways.
I hope there are individuals watching the program who are willing to do so as well.
I realized I was not only rebellious, but illogical as well.
All right. Now, as a career mathematician, are you saying that there is statistical, mathematical, and scientific demonstrable evidence pointing to a creator?
I think the evidence for a creator is so strong it's illogical to believe anything else. Even the most mundane of scholar would know that simple things like the shirt they wear was designed and made by someone, the chair they sit in was designed and made by someone, the car they drive was designed and made by someone. And yet many even of our scholars are willing to maintain something far more complex than shirts and chairs and cars just happened by chance.
Yes. In fact, the human body and the human brain especially.
Incredible.
Incredible and infinitely more complex than the finest designed organism that we as a human being have produced.
Yes, I have put together a list of some of those incredible features. Would you like to see?
Okay, I would like to see those, and I think our audience would be vitally interested in them as well. The human body. Now, we have one of those.
Yeah.
And every person watching the program has one of those. So let's see how complicated and how incredibly designed.
Well, the average size human body consists of about 100 trillion cells. We have up to 5 million hairs. I'm not sure I have that many still on my head, but and 13 billion nerve cells.
Now let's pause a moment on these hairs. You know, Jesus said that the angels number our hairs. Well, for some of us, they're going to have to change the record on a daily basis because we comb out many of the hairs, and yet we lose many and replace many. So we're keeping heaven busy to some degree.
Our blood contains 25 trillion red blood cells and 25 billion white cells.
Yes.
The total length, this one really blows my mind, the total length of all of the veins, arteries, arterioles, and capillaries in the average adult body, if placed end to end, would wrap around the equator 2 times.
Now, wait a minute. That's hard to visualize, yet I know it's true because I've read the same statistics from the technical literature. These veins, arteries, and arterioles and capillaries are often so tiny and so compact in their design and interrelated that if we stretch them all out, they would wrap around the equator, the Earth, twice. In one human body.
That's right. That network, just like a fishing net, if you were to sever the individual strands and then place them end to end, you'd have quite a length of string. It's a similar analogy to what I'm talking about here. And of course, our planet's about 8,000 miles in diameter. The circumference is roughly 25,000 when you multiply the diameter by pi.
50,000 miles.
In excess, actually, of 50,000 miles, more like 60,000.
In your body and mine. Incredible.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, that means that the designer, the creator, knew what he was doing in placing all of these in a relatively small capsule.
That's right. And in that network of vessels blood flows in one day an accumulated distance of 168 million miles.
Unbelievable.
While we're on the subject of blood, one molecule of hemoglobin in a red blood cell has 2,378 atoms.
The most complicated single atomic structure known to scientific investigation.
That's what I'm told, is that's the most complex molecule known to man. The body makes 140 million of them every minute. So while we've been visiting here, we've got probably pushing 400 million of these things been formed. In 1 year, your heart pumps enough blood to fill the fuel tanks of 10 Boeing 747 jumbo jets. This comes from the Incredible Comparisons book by Russell Ash, as do some of these other statistics. The total surface area of an average adult's capillaries is enough to cover the surface area of 19 tennis courts.
Marvelous.
And that's where the the nutrient transfer occurs, the oxygen, CO2 transfer occurs, and so forth. The brain is the most complex chemoneurological 3-pound object in the universe.
In fact, I understand that not only is it the most complex 3-pound object in the universe, one human brain is more complicated than all the rest of the physical universe combined, the technical literature states as well. That means 225 billion galaxies, each with over 500 million stars, is less complex in its organizational structure than one human brain.
It's pretty amazing.
Awesome creator to put all of this together.
Well, this stat says that the brain has 100 times more connections than all of the world's phone systems. Has 100 billion neurons, each connected to 10,000 other neurons. And 4 weeks into gestation, 500,000 brain cells form every minute, 500,000.
Wow.
The human ear, now this is a person with normal range hearing, can hear separate vibrations in the sound department of the brain from 20 vibrations a second all the way up to as high as 73,700.
And make distinctions between those.
Exactly.
That too is marvelous.
Now, my wife and I compiled a list of things that we noticed, and I'm sure there's additional difference between humans and animals. Humans know right from wrong.
We're the only ones who do.
They have a sense of history, humans do.
Yes.
We have accumulated knowledge through history.
Yes.
We have language. We have continuously growing head hair. Have difficulty in childbirth. Can tell a joke and laugh. Can cry and shed tears. Can compose music into a code for all humans to sing. And it just prompted me to think of Psalms 139, I will praise you for I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Absolutely so.
And of course, if you're made, then there must be a maker.
Must be a maker with a capital.
Now, you know, the Bible says in Romans 1:20, for since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen. I'm glad he's not hiding them from us.
Yes.
Being understood by the things that are made, even his divine nature, so that they are without excuse.
Yes.
The Lord is saying when we observe the things that are made, and we can look at ourselves in the mirror and there's something made, we ought to come to the logical conclusion that we have a maker. And now, newsflash, evolution is not science. Something that supposedly happened millions of years ago. We have no photographs of it, no written records, no eyewitness accounts. We can't test it. We don't see one kind of creature turning into another one. On and on and on we go.
And we can't reproduce it in the laboratory.
That's right.
Or the field.
It's really a belief system about the unobserved past.
Absolutely.
And science, the hallmark of science is observation. So something that's beyond that realm, origins, is really beyond the realm of testable,
Certainly.
observable, operational science.
And
yet it bootlegs its way into science classrooms and gets full billing as if it was, you know, truly scientific. But it's just a no-God philosophy, essentially.
That's correct. And a religious.
And Ken Ham actually says that it is a no-God philosophy masquerading as science. He succinctly puts it that way. Now, I'm going to say that true science is always biblical, and one reason I say it is because one of God's traits is his omniscience.
Yeah.